Welcome back to Affirmations. I want to thank those who are returning. Thank you to my new subscribers. I'm so excited. My numbers are raising. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. And in order to help my YouTube channel grow, hit the notification bell so you'll know when I get videos, okay? Really appreciate it. Hoping all is well, wishing everyone mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical health. And as we always say, I'm hoping that your week went well. And if it hadn't gone well, as we always say, what is one thing you can do in order to make it better? Okay. I do have a fan going on in the back, so hopefully you all can still hear me okay. Okay. Let's see. So we get started with our saying, life and death are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Have you been feeding yourself fresh or rotten fruit? I'm hoping it's fresh. Always wanting to mind the self-talk that we do with ourselves, as well as what we speak, as well as what we speak about others. If it's done under a malicious intent, or if we're relying on others, sometimes it activates reap what you sow. So we don't want that, and we want to be kind, okay? Okay. Also, for those of you who are new, we are starting to use this particular deck called dialectical behavior therapy, the DBT deck for clients and therapists. Okay. And again, we use these for the purpose of the healing of our people, the descendants of the slaves. Okay. So that's what we're attempting to do here. Also, for those of you who are new, in the past, we were using the self therapy card deck. Again, these were decks that I would recommend to clients that I worked with in counseling who want to continue to reach goals. So this is also a great um, deck to get as well. And also too, oh yeah, how can I forget, y'all? I have the store up. I'm so excited. Please do the DBT deck as well as the self therapy card deck. Okay, as well as this book that I'm recommending everyone to get called, let's see, Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome, America's Legacy of Enduring Injury and Healing by Dr. Joy DeGury. Okay, encouraging us to get that. We've heard of post-traumatic stress disorder, but never post-traumatic slave syndrome. Important for us to get this book to start better understanding how we're still being affected today. And again, these are in the store. You can look in the description of this video, and at the bottom there is a link, but also too on the about page there is a link as well. Okay, let's see. So to get started, for those of you that are new, what we do is I will get the stones. Okay, so kind of using the different affirmation stones. Okay, wishing everyone peace. Okay, hoping everyone has faith in yourself. Okay, as well as in the Most High. Hoping that you also have the strength to keep going. Our people had strength and courage to survive slavery, right? Hoping the same for you. And I'm hoping that we can imagine better for ourselves and healing for ourselves, okay? So what I'm going to do is I am going to mix up the stones, and we're going to see what we get today, so we can see which deck we're speaking from. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, we got Imagine. Okay, let's see what that is. The Imagine deck is the hot pink deck. Okay, so we're going to see what we're going to speak from today from this. Okay, let's see what they got us talking about. Okay, let's see what pops out for us. There it is. Let's see what we got. Okay. This is interesting. I think we already got this one on another video. We just kind of briefly go through it, but then we'll pick another card. States of mind. It says we have 3 states of mind. We have our emotion mind, our reason mind, and our wise mind. Wise mind is the balance between emotions and reason. In wise mind, we can acknowledge and validate our feelings and still use reason to problem solve think about consequences and choose effective behaviors. In wise mind, we act in ways that reflect our goals, values, and who we want to be as people. In any moment, ask yourself, what is my wise mind telling me? Then act from your wise mind. And I'll briefly just kind of go over what we talked about in the past. Again, we had to constantly use our wise mind during slavery, right? There were consequences all around us for even the most minute small things, okay? And so we want to be able to use our wise mind when there are no consequences, especially amongst ourselves and within our family, okay? Being able to choose to be more reasonable and not overreact with each other, okay? So that was in a different video. Okay, but let's pick another one because we had already gotten that one. And for those of you that are new, when we were using the other deck, the self-therapy card decks, we would get same cards a lot, and we don't think that's an accident. I think sometimes that means that we still need to work on some things, okay? So sometimes we'll get the same cards, okay? But with this one, I may start kind of moving on to the next card, okay? Let's see what we get. See if anything pops out. Mm-hmm. And then in the comment section, let me know if anybody used that particular technique, the wise mind. Did y'all give that a try? And so we're going to challenge ourselves to do that. We know how to do that in public. we know that in this particular society, is not kind to us if we should not be in our wise mind and be cautious and be aware of consequences. We're all too aware of that, but can we use our wise mind again in our private life, right? And choose to be, calmer. And sometimes we think it's no consequence, right, with our own people and our own family. But ask yourself, what is the consequence? Sometimes you can't see the consequence immediately. That one popped. But sometimes it may mean that down the line, it could be affecting your relationships and the quality of your relationships, or down the line, you'll wonder why certain family members aren't speaking to you, or some relationships failed, or even with your children. So there are consequences, even though we can't see them immediately. Okay, we got the card called meditation. Okay. So this is someone by the name of John Kabat-Zinn. Okay, once asked, what is not meditation if you are there open-hearted? Okay, they're getting poetic on us, y'all. It says, reflect on this question. Okay, it's a little tricky question. Open your heart and be present in this moment of your life, noticing any changes in your experience. This is interesting. You have meditation is one thing, but one of the things we're going to be challenging ourselves with is being able to, it says open your heart. That means being vulnerable to some degree and allowing yourself to kind of focus and calm yourself, right? And be present in the moment. That means you're not allowing yourself to be thinking about things while you're in a present moment, worrying about things, thinking about things that's not relevant. You're staying in the moment, okay? And then by doing that, because sometimes when we're not in the moment around people, we're thinking about, oh, I wonder what they're thinking. I wonder how much they make. I wonder what these kind of thoughts don't just see. Can you just calm yourself and be in the moment and notice things like, the way someone talks, or what color they have on, or what they're saying. Okay. So that's a challenge because we always are not in the moment. Okay. And then it wants you to see what that does to your life. What is the experience like when you do that? Okay, the next thing is talking about, as Kabat-Zinn suggests, anything can be meditation if you are present, none judging it with an open heart. So that's tricky. Normally, when we talk to people, a lot of times we may have strong opinions about things. But says, what would happen if you would just allow yourself to say to yourself, this is a human or a person or experience that I'm just here to experience just by viewing and listening. Not really giving an opinion or having strong feelings about it, but just being aware that this right here is a new experience, okay? Meditate on your life experiences starting with this moment, staying present for some time before changing the focus of your attention. Connect to this moment. Okay, so this is another exercise where you can kind of choose an experience, meditate, and focus on it, encouraging you to pick more calming experiences. Okay, we're trying not to meditate on things that are traumatic for us, but choosing kind of pleasant experiences to meditate on. Um, yeah, so it's kind of interesting. I want you to connect in the moment, right? It's difficult sometimes to stay focused. Our minds are racing a mile a minute. A lot of times we're on our phones. A lot of times we're kind of distracted. A lot of times we have something in mind when we're interacting with other people that we want them to do, or we're thinking about leaving and not even being around a particular person or situation, okay? So we kind of escape. Okay, so let's try to be more present, okay? And yeah, so in slavery, let's look at that. What happened with that? Oh, we were the masters of being in the moment. We had to be. We were scrutinized and had to work and had no control over stuff. And I think we became masters of really when we did have time to ourselves, enjoying ourselves, staying in the moment, creating art forms, music, dance. We really connected to each other because we didn't have time to waste. Because everything in our life was controlled. So I think we were masters at meditating and being in the moment and finding the beauty in the moment because life was so harsh. Okay. So let's tap into that. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to pick another one. Let's see what we're going to get. Did I put that one back? Yeah, let me take that stone out. Okay, let's see what we're going to get. Okay, we got this one last time, I think, on one of the other weeks. Courage. Courage, okay? And the courage stone has to do with the green section, okay? The green cards, okay? And last time we had this one exception to the rules, so I'm going to pull it to the side, okay? So we can get something new. All right, let's see. Okay, these are flimsier cards, okay? So they're thinner, so they're a little trickier to shuffle. But we're getting it done. Okay, so let me just kind of, it's not a lot in this deck. We may end up going through this particular deck quicker. So let's see. Let's see. There we go. We got some. Okay, we got be flexible. We cause a lot of needless misery for ourselves by being too rigid in our thoughts and feelings. While we do not want to go to the other extreme, there is a lot to be said for learning to be flexible and to go with the flow. Learn to consider other perspectives and practice being more flexible with situations, moving with realities rather than trying to impose your will on everything. People who learn to bend do not break. Okay. This is an interesting one. This is one I definitely have to work on, guys. We want to work on being more flexible. And again, I'm going to connect it back to slavery, right? And kind of how it's affected our people today. Oh, we had to be flexible, right? We had to be able to basically service and please anyone who was in the ruling group. So we had to be flexible. We also the fact that we had to be so flexible, I think a lot of times where that played out now is that we're like, because we had to be, now we don't want to be flexible, right? Sometimes we can be stubborn, again, because we didn't have that luxury in the past. So we can find ourselves being quite rigid and stubborn. I definitely can relate with this. I'm not a go with the flow girl. I love a schedule. I love a structure. I love a on time. I love a consistency. Yes, I do. However, um, it's important for us to learn to be flexible again with family and friends and situations that can be flexible and go with the flow. and not allow it to ruin a day or ruin a situation, right? Like it says, you have to move with the reality of the situation and be open minded. And so, one of the things we can do to help us be more flexible, especially if it's something that's planned, and some of us that's more like me, for anything that's planned, that's everything for me. I even have alarms to remind me to do things. I have to remind myself, and before I even approach this particular activity, it is okay if there are changes, right? I'm going to go with the flow. Okay, so we may say that before we even start activities, right? And especially ones that we're excited about. Oh, we want them to go a certain way. If you notice, activities that we have no expectations on normally are our best experiences. That's what's so amazing. But also, too, it's interesting that, you know, they want us to be flexible, but we were taught kind of not to be flexible on the other side of the coin because we had to uh, be consistent and pick the, talking about picking cotton, you have to pick a certain amount. Everything was regimented and controlled. So we were not given, we didn't have the luxury of being flexible and being laxed on ourselves. And so sometimes we then project that and act that out on ourselves as well as others in our family and in the community. Okay. So we just want to remind ourselves, again, if it's not life and death, we're going to just, be okay and go with reality and be flexible. Okay. All right. So let's see. So we're going to get an affirmation card to close it out. Let's see what we get. We'll do these today. Let's see what we're going to get. Okay. Let's see what we're going to get. There we go. Got two. Interesting. Service. It says, I feel good when I can help others. Right? And a lot of times, normally we don't feel that way. We get exhausted from having to serve, especially those that overly are the ones that's always having to serve and don't have anyone serving them or helping them. And so it does feel good when you can help others. But one of the things we're also learning is about self-care and also being able to know the limits and the boundaries of how far should we go so we don't end up sacrificing ourselves. Okay, which falls in line with the next card that fell out as happiness. By doing this, we will be able to find balance and happiness. It says, I'm aware that being happy means that I am on the right path, right? So if we find ourselves in our lives like just not happy, that is a flag that something's off. What do we need to do in order to create balance so we can have happiness? Okay. And with that, I want to thank you all for joining me. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't forget when I post. Also, I want you to remember to check out the store. Again, in the description box, there's a link, as well as on the About page at the bottom, there's a link as well. And also, for those of you who would like to donate with Cash App, in order to help me be able to eventually do this more full time, it would be greatly appreciated. And thank you to those who have already donated. It was appreciated. Also, I want to thank, had someone reach out to me in email, thanking me for the work that I'm doing. It was very encouraging, and I was able to recommend them based on some information that they requested. But again, thank you for that email. And remember, everyone has a right to heal from trauma without interference, even a race nation. And with that, until next time, bye.